What's even crazier though is like the stuff that people are telling us is like when we were Charlie Ward was telling us that you played quarterback. I was like, what?
Yeah, I played quarterback.
I was like,
but I knew they weren't going to be playing college.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask you that when we...
I knew they weren't going to be playing quarterback in college.
And so here we go again, back with another one. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel. And before I go ahead and get started, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not new to the channel and you enjoy the content so far on this channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And so recently, with the recruiting process heating up, along with the transfer portal, Deion in Colorado have been making some splashes, some big splashes, snagging some big name recruits.
Wait a minute.
The University of Colorado.
I told y'all. He's a buffalo.
Yeah, man, and if you ain't rocking with us and you say you're a dog, and you claim you're a dog, why you not coming to Colorado?
There you go.
Why you not helping somebody who look like you?
And a lot of these folks out here are starting to show their true colors.
The bird just dropped in on my shoulder and gave me an update from a recruiting situation that happened earlier with the CU bus. They said they was in a meeting with Coach Prime and his staff. And say he had a mama, and so mama was sitting there with her son in the meeting. While she was sitting there, it just so happened at the time, a white coach from another school text mama, said, don't be drinking that Kool-Aid down there at Boulder. Told her, don't be drinking that Kool-Aid. And she, you know, us being us, we like stuff like that. We pull out that Uno reverse card and pow! We flip it so fast on you. Say one of the coaches told her, Mom, who else made Kool-Aid? What you think he trying to say? Who else made Kool-Aid? Black folks. So what you think he trying to tell you? That tell you all you need to know. Committed.
And so this is starting to turn into what a lot of coaches feared in the first place. And a lot of coaches saw the writing on the wall way before Deion even stepped foot on Colorado. Back when Deion was able to snag the #1 recruit in all the nation. And he got him to come to an HBCU. Right then and there, a lot of them saw the writing on the wall. Because it's not too often that, you know, these young men can get an opportunity to get a chance to play for a coach like Deion Sanders, somebody that they can genuinely relate to, and somebody that understands them on a higher level, and somebody that cares about the struggle at the same time. And not a coach out there that's going to be trying to blacken it up when they get a recruit on campus.
You like that? I like that.
And so Deion is different. And I'm sure when a lot of these young men and their families and parents are out there on these recruiting trips, I'm sure it feels different. I'm sure there's a different vibe. There's a different energy that a lot of these other coaches can't emulate, and they can't come close to emulating. And on top of that, not to mention, if any of y'all ever had a chance to visit Colorado, then you'll know that there's places in Colorado that will make it seem like you're in another country, another world. You start getting up there in those Rocky Mountains, and it'll make you feel like you're in a different place. And so, like I said, I'm sure when a lot of these guys are going out there with their families, you know, they're checking out the environment, and then on top of that, they're seeing what kind of mentor and what kind of motivator that Deion is, and it's an easy decision. It's a no-brainer. And truth be told, I don't even think what that anonymous coach said, I don't even think what he said was racist. I don't even think he was trying to be racist. But the fact that he was texting this player's mother while she was sitting down with Prime, it's not a good look. The fact that he was texting her, telling her, hey, don't you fall for this man's tricks, that's not a good look. Because for one, you're treating Deion like he's some kind of snake oil salesman and the kind of guy that can't be trusted. But he's not out here doing anything else that a lot of these other coaches aren't doing as well. But the fact that Deion Sanders can do it better, I'm pretty sure it puts a bug in their ass. Just a little bit. I'm sure it stings a little bit.
Stings a little, don't it?
The fact that Deion Sanders can seemingly come out of nowhere and recruit better than any of those guys could ever dream of. The fact that it comes so easy for him because he is one of the greatest players to ever play the game of football. And then on top of that, he's probably one of the greatest motivators to play the game of football. Somebody that was born to lead. Somebody that was a pastor at one point in his life. And so that's hard to compete with. And what it comes down to is a lot of them are scared of competition, real competition. And Deion is that real competition. Because let's not get it twisted. When it comes to college football, when it comes to competition within college football, It all begins and it all ends with the recruiting process. And now that college football's got the NIL going on along with the transfer portal, it seems like the playing field is a little bit even now, just a little bit. And for somebody like Deion Sanders, it's wide open. And so we're about to see what time it is next year when Deion has had a full offseason under his belt and is finally able to get some of those guys in the trenches that he's wanted. And no disrespect to those guys that Colorado had last year, because a lot of those guys did the best that they could. They tried their best. But hopefully for those guys, they can find another opportunity someplace else, and maybe they can get a chance to turn it around and put some better tape on the film. But as for last year, a lot of those guys just weren't up to the task. They couldn't protect Shedeur for nothing. He was running for his life. He literally had 1 to 2 seconds to get rid of that ball, a lot of those snaps that I watched. And so you can't win with that. And the fact that Deion Sanders did as well as he did is very telling. And it's going to be an indication of what kind of season that he's going to have next year. I think he's definitely one of the top 3 Heisman candidates for next year, or at least he should be, because it's looking like Shedeur is going to have all day to throw now. His blind side is good, and it looks like the rest of the O-line is coming together as well. And so next year is going to be exciting. Now, I still think it's going to be an uphill battle, because as we all know, we got to play against the refs as well. That's not something that I can easily forget, because I remember after the first 3 weeks, Colorado was the least penalized team in the nation. And ironically enough, they won their first 3 games. And then after that, it all went downhill. They went from being the least penalized team in the nation to the #1 most penalized team in the nation. And I don't think that's a coincidence. And I know some of y'all don't think that as well. And so, of course, the refs' impact on the game is something that we got to keep an eye out for. But if they're blowing people out like I think they're going to be, it's going to make it hard for even some of those penalties and some of those non-calls to even stand in the way of Colorado. But we're going to see how it all plays out. They still got to lace them up. But make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like if you haven't done so already. And as usual, peace and chaos.